good night. So I've slept for a couple of hours during the afternoon, and I've just eaten like a late dinner and arranged some stuff. So what you've just heard, these were the two last parts of the robot saga, the 20th and 21st part. Was the saga that was recorded during August. These two last chapters were recorded September 2nd. And it's if you didn't listen to it, I think it's a great place to start. Like if you're totally new to these issues, I mean, like of you ask yourself like what's going on. I mean, we were sure, I mean, that we didn't know nothing about nothing. We only know we saw that there are only Homo sapienses, and now we start. I mean, not only that there are aliens, but you say that there are aliens. I mean, that there are all over the place since the 19th century, and not even one type, but several types. I mean, so is like Men in Black here? What's going on? So for these people, if they actually exist, I would recommend starting from this actually series of videos from this August 2023, the Robot Saga, because it's supposed to be an introductory saga. Actually, the last two parts are not so introductory. They are more they based on previous knowledge. So, but I mean, it's a good place to start the Robot Saga, the Robot series. Pretty soon I will you hear zombies outside the street, but in the street. But I mean, the usual stuff. So pretty soon I'll broadcast the next class. It will be a very I would say educational weekend. You can choose a topic or a specific series if you know the name, and put it in the comment section, and I'll read it in a second. So with regards to our cooking venture, as you understand, it's not the first thing that I create this stuff. Mostly I was occupied with that, not in this hostel, but while I was still at the rest in my mother's apartment during March, April. So you see that, I mean, the stuff from the pan was solidified pretty well, pretty nicely. This is not maple syrup. It's just the drops that I'm from below that while I kind of move the pan, it's resurfaced because underneath there is a liquid, more like a liquid part, and this is also true for the candles from yesterday. This one I'm going to recook it. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, and then let it melt in the cups, and then still need to prepare the clay cups. The liquid from below exists due to the fact that I've placed a very hefty amount of the Nero juice in it. Actually, I was too greedy. I placed far too much, because in the past, during the February, March, I already had the concept of the enriched Nero juice, but it was very preliminary, and so actually there was much less Neros, much less less juice in the wax, and this juice was much less potent. So what I've placed here is something that is tremendously more potent. So first of all, it's a waste, but I don't care because I'm going to throw everything to the garbage, because I cannot sell it and I don't want anybody to get it for free. But it's a great waste, because these candles contain probably 1,000 times more, or at least 100 times more robots than the mixture from March, April, and so many more doesn't necessarily mean it's better, because they need time to work. In any case, they need time. They take some time. And the mixture. It's not only the robots. It's all sorts of life forms, that probably alien life forms that are maybe mostly died in the fire, but maybe not all, because we know that some are resistant. Actually, we can take a microscopic examination of what's inside these mixtures. We're going to be good at both of the liquid and the wax. Maybe I'll do it later tonight. It's going to be interesting. We haven't taken a microscopic examination in a couple of days, so it will be like a good idea. But what I think is that regarding this mixture is that, I mean, when I remelted it, I'll add all what I have left from the wax and also a little bit of oil, because I want it to be more solid. And the candles that are already prepared, I'm not going to change the mixture. Maybe with a little bit of more time, I mean, the liquid from the underneath will be absorbed in the wax, and maybe not, I don't know. It's not going to prevent it from burning. Just that, I mean, what burns, I mean, just, I mean, so we are clear, what burns, it's not the neros themselves. They are not like, I mean, the robots are not fuel and shouldn't be thought as such. This is a big mistake, I mean, from the point of view of the consumption of the robots by the Titans themselves, and was related to the radioactive isotopes. I mean, it's a distinction that's very interesting and very important to me to just, I mean, to kind of to clarify that, I mean, it's not the same thing. I mean, these robots can be used to create radioactive isotopes, as is done by the Israelis for quite some time, and they can be used to enrich fuels, and that is what I kind of like do. I mean, my first steps like as part of this channel. But they are not the fuel and they are not the radioactive isotopes. They are different, and it's difficult to once. I mean, if you create like isotopes or if you enrich fuel, I mean, basically what you get is a mixture that is made of both, and it's it's probably impossible to separate it. Like, I mean, after it's done, and I mean, in that part, I mean, that in this, like, I mean, if you like, I mean, enrich wax and oil and again, like in this case, I mean, that you have like, I mean, a very high amount of the juice, then, I mean, yes, I mean, I can take the juice from like below, you know, from the layer below, and it will be like, I mean, Nero juice without the wax. But because, I mean, there's tremendous amount of it, but I mean, there's still going to be a lot of Neros in the wax itself, and they will not. I don't know of any way to actually separate it, and this is also true for like for radioactive isotopes. I mean, whatever cake that you buy from Israel, this cake is always contain tremendous amount of robots. Even if you can't watch that under the microscope, it doesn't mean anything because they can be nanoscopic, and catch it like in electron microscope is probably impossible. But maybe it's not. And maybe there are ways to actually separate it, like, I mean, using advanced technique of ionization, but not trivial. Again, one of the implications of this curiosity is that using the biological mechanism, I can, like, I mean, anyone that ever control over the Neros, which in our time I think it's only me in Earth, can, I mean, well, let's put it simply, I can grow bacteria, I mean, over like all of your atomic bombs, if you still have, to my approximation, you don't have many, like humanity is, they have very little atomic weapons, if at all, at that point. Of course, they had a lot in the past, but things changed. But I mean, I can also grow, I don't know, like, I mean, you know, alien bacteria, I mean, on the fuel of your power plants, which is something that I don't think that, I mean, you thought about, but yes, it's just like that. And not just bacteria, but bacteria that will be able to actually feed on the radioactive isotopes. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is this is actually, I mean, pretty funny. I mean, pretty funny thing. Yeah. Yeah. Now, another issue is that, I mean, these mixtures that you see here, I mean, so some people, I mean, might think that, I mean, it looks like a little bit like, I mean, like a pharmaceutical or cosmetic, like, I mean, mixture. Like, I mean, so you might ask, I mean, can we make, like, I mean, creams out of it? So the answer is that surprisingly, I mean, or not surprisingly, the answer is resounding yes, and that it actually was done by me. Because I actually I mean, in this hostel, I was mainly, I mean, since April, since the second arrest until now, I was mostly occupied, like, I mean, with the project of creating life forms and creating more Neros. They were both successful, and these are the important projects. But initially, during the first couple of months, when I was in my mother's apartment, I mean, I was more kind of like, I mean, I tried many kind of like parallel directions, including the pharmaceutical directions of actually creating, like, I mean, pills, and I've actually even, like, I mean, I've received approval from the FDA for starting human experiments, and I've actually conducted 2 or 3. I mean, of course, I was the human. It didn't kill me. But also, and more importantly, yes, I certainly created creams from this stuff in a process not unlike what you see now, but not based on B-Box, but on paraffin, and also just, I mean, like lotions, like a little bit of lotion, you know, just for damaged skin. And I've even used these lotions, like, and paraffin in like, you know, that I like to walk a lot. So, I mean, and sometimes, like, you know, you have blisters and things like that in the foot, so I use it as a foot care. And admittedly, it's not scientifically significant. I mean, it's not statistically significant. I mean, it might be maybe it was just a placebo, but I mean, I felt like great. I mean, I subjectively, I felt that, I mean, it's a help for a quick repair of damaged skin. It might be actually, I mean, you know, like a valid product, not only for, like, I mean, like for the traditional cosmetic, I mean, market, but also for like you know, for the outdoor hiking or military, you know, people that want to participate in sports. I mean, even after they are a little bit or not more than a little bit hurt by the you know, by friction. So yes, this was actually done and not documented a lot, but maybe it's mentioned in the videos from like January to April. After that, I kind of, again, in this hostel, I mean, the last 6-7 months, I kind of like, I became more focused on, because I was I mean, there was so much, I mean, things that like, I mean, that was in research during the first couple of months, including alternative current, I mean, you know, issues, and then, you know, life forms, and then creation of rings, like gold, I mean, and it was very, I mean, I kind of, I mean, I've done, like, I mean, many times I made like a huge, like, amount of things in parallel, like in these couple of months, from December to April, and I've had like all those. I mean, I had more, like, actually I had more material. I mean, I was very poor even then. I mean, it was already incredibly Spartan, like, I mean, in my mother's apartment, because, I mean, I had no money and like a little, but still, I mean, it was at least it was an apartment, you know. So I had, like, you know, places to put my containers, so I had much more containers, like, than now, that I actually had all thousands of containers, like, on parallel, that have created all sorts of stuff, and I had the balcony that allowed me, I mean, some kind of freedom. But I mean, and here is just, I mean, one little room that everything is done in it, but maybe it's for the best from the point of view that, from that, I mean, yes, I mean, I became more focused here on the issue of the Neros themselves, like, to multiply and to grow them, and of the life forms. And I think that we've done amazing stuff in these two, like, you know, fields, like much more than I even, like, imagined. I think that, I mean, with the help of God, I mean, we've reached a very, like, first of all, yeah, I mean, we see amazing Neros, very big ones. We actually even see by the visual representation of, I mean, visually capturing, like, I mean, you know, the Stargate property, which is amazing and breakthrough, I think. And we created the huge life forms, like, even, like, you know, the Full Metal Jacket, that, I mean, that was a huge wasp that made of metal, and hopefully now, I mean, multiplying, like, all over the place without you knowing. But soon, I guess, billions will be eating your crops, which will be very sad news to those that like to eat carbon-based food. But on the other hand, it might be good news to those that like to eat the drug, because it means that because these creatures contain the robots in their body, the T. And this is, I mean, and this was proven in, like, in the alien autopsy, because one actually killed one, and like, it was 2 or 3 years ago, months ago, and I uploaded, like, the autopsy, like, to this channel, and and you can actually see like most of the body is not fit for backlight microscopy, but the wings are translucent, so you can actually see the wings pretty well, and you see that the wings contain many neurons. So it's going to be like a T source on Earth, which is something new. Until now all the T source was in Venus. So for the tea eaters, it might be good news. But for anybody that like to eat, something like things that grow or things that eat things that grow, it will be bad news. Because these wasps, they eat everything. They are like aircraft carriers. Small like aircraft carriers. They weigh like 10 times what you like regular like insects of the same volume, and they are their body is made of metal and they are heat resistant. So they require tons of energy. So they eat like crazy. It will be like the biblical locust, but 1,000 times worse. But again, on the other end, it will be a tea source widely available on Earth, which some people might find this good news. I would like actually to create more, additional experiments regarding the lotions, the skincare lotions. Maybe I'll actually do it. I don't have large containers, but I have very small. I bought very small containers, and maybe it's enough. Just for samples of to create. And I have a little bit of paraffin left and lotion, so maybe I'll create samples. Maybe so this is not, of course, this is not good for the, it's not good for the candles. The candles should be made out of clay or metal, so I'll prepare it from clay, both natural and synthetic, that I still have quite a bit. But for the lotions, this is actually good container. I think small, but big enough for to be maybe handed as a free giveaway in super farms, things like that, like pharmacies or shopping malls. I don't know. מוצרי ים המלח, like Israel sells מוצרי Dead Sea, products in abroad. Almost never really came from the Dead Sea, but what you can expect from Israelis. So I'll think about it. So yeah, so I'll probably soon start the clay project and also do the remelting. And you can still, so as I said, leave a comment if you have any preferences on for classes for tonight and for the rest of the weekend.